Your mind is programmed to keep you exactly where you are right now. Your mind has one job, and that's to keep you safe, to protect you, and keep you in this zone of familiarity. Now, what's familiar is known, is certain. Anything outside of that is uncertain, is unsafe. And so our mind has one job, and it's very good at that, it's very purposeful at that, and that is to keep you safe. But what if you could rewrite and reprogram your mind for success?
Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure.
The reason why most people don't get what they want in their life is because their unconscious mind wants one thing, but they think that they want another thing. And there's a disconnect between the two. It's like they've got 95% of their strength going towards what they don't want, but 5% going towards what they want. And this is why it feels like we might be pushing things uphill the whole time. It's kind of like if you had 95% of your strength in this hand and 5% in this hand, it didn't matter how hard you tried with this hand could even just put 10% effort in and still push this side and pull this hand where it wanted to go. And so that's the power our unconscious mind does. And this is why so many people don't change. This is why so many people don't get to the level of success or happiness or joy or peace or anything in their life, is because they haven't allowed themselves to reprogram and rewire their unconscious mind. Because our unconscious mind has one job, it's very good at that, it's very purposeful at that, and that's to keep us safe, to keep us in things that are familiar. And so if we know that and if we understand that, it means that if we've created some kind of limitation, because we don't create abundance, we create limitations. So we've created some limitation from some past experience, maybe some kind of conditioning and childhood programming. I can tell you now that the first 10 years of our life are the most influential to our development in terms of our beliefs and our emotions and the stories that we've made up and the judgments that we've made about ourselves. And so we've created all of these limitations. And then we get to this point and it's like, why can't I achieve this? We've got like all of this baggage that's under the surface. It's like, imagine standing here and then having 95% of your baggage just there, weighing you back. You'd be like, well, of course I don't want to go this way. So we need to really dive in and to reprogram your mind so you can become successful, because everyone wants to be successful. Whether they say they don't or not, they're just lying to themselves. They're trying to justify, say, no, I don't want that. You know, people say, I don't want more money. I'm happy just living this little life. I'm like, okay, well, if I gave you $1 million, would you take it? And they said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. So you do want more money. You're just lying to yourself about it. Now, money's not everything. I'm just using it as an example. But everyone, like, we are abundant beings. We're abundant at our core. Why not live life to the fullest? Why settle for average? Why settle for things that are nowhere near our potential? There is so much average in this world, and I don't want this for you. I want you to step up to be a 10 times better version of you, your 10.0 version, and even greater than that. And so we're going to go through a few different little key points on how you can start rewiring and reprogramming your unconscious mind to help you step up to be that better version of you and step up for success. Super important. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, this seems like a lot of work, it seems hard, I'm not built like this. Bullshit. That's just a bullshit story you're telling yourself. You've got to train. You can either train or you can play, and there's no in between. Now, we train men like you every single day. Men who want to take their life to the next level. Men who want to recreate themselves. Men who want to step up as the leader of their family, of their businesses, of their communities, of their companies. And so if you resonate with any of this, down below what you're going to see is a description of this YouTube video, and inside of that there's going to be a link. Click on that link, enter your name, enter your phone number, enter your email address, and my team will personally reach out to you, showing you the 4 steps and the 4 stages that can help you get to where you want to be. So if you're serious about recreating your life, if you're serious about stepping up into the man that you know that you can be, managing your life, managing everyone else's life because you manage your own, then let's do it. I'd love to see you on the inside. The first thing we're going to cover is to identify and override your limiting beliefs. So your unconscious mind runs on old programming that keeps you stuck. You know, imagine it's like you've got this old computer, and that essentially, that's a really good analogy for our mind. It's just a software program that's running. And you know, if you didn't update your computer, it would be still running on that outdated software for ages, and it just probably wouldn't keep up with the times. Well, our mind is exactly the same. So we've created all of these unconscious behaviors, unconscious beliefs, and unconscious things that are under the surface here, all the stories, all the limitations, all the programming. And so we just need to upgrade that. And we do that by trying to identify and override those unconscious beliefs. It's like, plugging in a new software, just giving that all a big upgrade, because your beliefs create and your beliefs destroy. Your beliefs create your reality, but they also destroy your dreams. So the more that we can then dive into them and be like, where's the dream killers inside of ourselves, then we can start becoming someone 10 times better than ever before. Now, as I said before, 50% of our beliefs are formed by the age of 5. So that means that as a 5-year-old, we make all these beliefs about the world. And this is why we can make a belief that I'm not good enough because our parents didn't pick us up one day from school, or they were 10 minutes late. But for us, it was a traumatic experience, heightened emotions. We do dumb things, or we make up stories that don't make sense because there's heightened emotions. And then all of a sudden we've created this belief that's stored in the unconscious mind that's kind of like always sitting there, and it's kind of like directing our situations as we go into the future. It's really, really complex, and it's almost really hard to believe until you actually start diving into it. And that's what our 3-day event is powerful for, is to dive in and find out all of these different programs and beliefs and emotions and thoughts and all the things that are under the surface. And you're going to find out things that you didn't even know had any relation to your life. And when you let go of that, it's like just all these little links connect. In the quantum field, the past, present, and future all exist in one. So if you change the past, you change the present and the future in no space and no time. It sounds hard to believe because our conscious mind, our analytical mind, likes things that are very easy to understand. But when you dive into that world and you see it and experience it, you're like, wow, this is really, really powerful. When I was in grade 5, I had to do a 2-minute talk. Most primary schools you had to. And I really loved fishing back then. And so my talk was going to be on how to do up a fishing line. So I'd get up there and I'd be like, trying to tie the fishing line and do all this. But I was so nervous. I was very shy. I had all these different beliefs and thoughts and childhood programming already at that age when I was in grade 5. And so then I got up in front of the class and I could see everyone there. And it was like an image that was stored in my mind for a long time, but I forgot about it for a long time too. And so then at the time, I was talking to everyone and I was like trying to tie the fishing line. And as you know, can be quite fiddly. But I was shaking so much and everyone was watching me and I was shaking and I couldn't tie the fishing line, and then I'd be shaking even more, panicking even more. I got all embarrassed, all red, like it was a traumatic experience. Looking back, I just kind of smile. But at the time, it was really, really, painful, you could say, for that, which sounds like it's just a talk, whatever, get over it. It was so young. But this is the thing, it's not me right now. It was a younger version of me where all this stuff was stored in my mind and in my nervous system. And then I created this belief, like I was looking around and I could see all these people staring at me. And then I linked people looking at me with those emotions of being embarrassed, with being scared, with being nervous, and all of that. And I created this belief or a fear of being seen. Fear of being heard, fear of people looking at me and me looking at other people. And so this was a big catalyst. And as soon as I was able to let go of that event and neutralize that event, which is one of the key things that we take men through, and I could neutralize that, my life changed like this, so quickly. It's crazy how quick it changed. And that was just because I let go of the belief that was stored in the unconscious mind back at that time. So some things seem very insignificant to us when we look back, but as a kid, they're very deeply ingrained in our unconscious mind and in our nervous system. So it's really powerful to just have a look through your life and to go back and go, what were these things, and identify them? What were some of maybe the traumatic experiences as a kid? Little t, because sometimes that event, falling over in front of people and everyone laughing at you, as a 2-year-old can be very traumatic. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean like physical abuse or anything like that, but it can be very traumatic. And so Wayne Dwyer said, "The truth is that there is no actual stress or anxiety in the world. It's your thoughts that create these false beliefs. You can't package stress, you can't touch it or see it. There are only people engaged in stressful thinking. And all of this stress, all of this anxiousness, all of this worry, all these fears, all these negative emotions come from the meaning that we give it. It's never the thing, it's what we think and feel about the thing. So this kind of leads on to the second point here of using visualization and affirmations. Now, a lot of people, when they say affirmations, they've got like this little voice in the back of their head say, no, that's not true. And there's that instant little bit of doubt. Of course, there's going to be levels of that, but repetition will always outbeat it. It's like if you go to the gym, you're going to do some pretty bad reps at the start, but the more you do it, the better you get. The more you do it, the better you get. So you want to get something that isn't a time frame based, but also you want to make it so maybe it's kind of in progress. So if you say, I'm a multi-millionaire, and that feels untrue for you, say, I am becoming a multi-millionaire until that feels true. And then you can start going, I am a multi-millionaire when it starts feeling true. So you can kind of like take small little steps to get there. The thing is, and why these work so powerful, is your mind and your brain doesn't know what is real and what is imagined. This is why when you watch movies, it can feel like you're there and you experience the thoughts and the feelings, and it's such a thrill, or you go through like the waves of emotion watching a movie because your mind thinks that you're there watching this. Your unconscious mind doesn't know that it's a movie that you're watching. And so in this same way, your mind will always continue doing what you repeatedly tell it. Now, most people keep telling a story about their limitations of why they can't do this, what's wrong, what they worry, what they fear. Worry is negative goal setting. And it's visualization. Most people worry about what's going to happen, and so that means they're like visualizing what's going to happen because the mind thinks in pictures. And it's like they're visualizing what they don't want to happen. They're creating what they don't want to happen through this power of affirmation and visualization. And so they're successful at doing that. But let's change that now. Let's change it to actually create what we want rather than create what we don't want. And so the more that we can speak success into existence, you can see yourself winning before it even happens. That's when you'll start creating that winner's mindset, and you'll start getting the things that you want in your life so much quicker than ever before. And so you can kind of implement this into your life however you want to. You can, sit down and do the practice and do the affirmations, or you can do it while you're doing other things, whatever kind of works for you. For me right now, I go for a walk every single day, just after lunch, around that time, middle of the day. And I walk down the street and I'm saying these affirmations, I'm saying these incantations to myself. It's like I'm walking, I'm like, all I need is within me now. All I need is within me now. And I don't care what anyone else thinks. Like I don't care. I don't care if anyone looks at me or hears me or anything. Because at the end of the day, people are so consumed with what's going on. Someone might look at me and they might judge me, but then 2 minutes later, they've forgotten about it. Why do I have any mental headspace about that? So I walk down the street saying this, and then you can visualize with your eyes open too. And so I walk down the street, I'm visualizing and I'm saying these affirmations, and I'm doing some tapping sequences. Now you might not know what tapping is, doesn't really matter, but tapping sequences you can do that tap on the meridian points, acupuncture points, and it helps blow out negative energy. So I'm doing those things as I'm doing, and that practice between the exercise, moving my body, saying the affirmations, tapping, visualizing, doing all of that, I feel amazing afterwards. It's a nice little reset. So some people might feel a bit tired after lunch, after they've eaten, whereas I get out, I go for a walk, and I feel good. I'm like all set, ready to continue the day for the next section. So it's a really cool little thing to do. Now, you don't have to do that. That's what I do, but that just gives you some ideas of what you can do to help start creating these habits and this repetition into your life. Now, Dan Pena said, year-end goals are terrific. Affirmations with goals are even better. And goals, affirmations along with visualization are even more effective. Now, the key where a lot of people go wrong is they don't do it for long enough. They might do it for a week and be like, oh, this hasn't happened. They might do it for 30 days and go, oh, this hasn't happened. You got to just keep doing it. Keep doing it until you fully believe that it's going to happen and that you can see it and you can be there and you can live it. And then it will happen when you least expect it. You've just got to keep going. Most people quit too soon. So when you start something, do it for however long, and don't get attached to the outcome. And this is why I like doing it more for traits and what we want to be or who we want to be rather than external things, because then there's a different marker. We don't have to wait till that external thing shows up in our reality before us to go, oh, it works. we know we're just becoming someone different, and that's why it's so much more powerful. And so this kind of leads on to the last point here of take aligned action daily. So your unconscious mind follows your actions. You know, you can command your unconscious mind, do this, do this, do this, stop doing this. And there's something called the success cycle or momentum cycle. We've got actions which build habits, which builds success, and the success builds more confidence. And then confidence creates more action and better actions, which creates more habits and better habits, which creates more success. And that creates and breeds more confidence. And then the cycle continues, and that momentum cycle continues. The action part is one of the best ways to start on that loop. And then that's going to create habits, and as I said, keep going around. And so we literally can create our habits in our unconscious mind by telling ourselves we're going to do this. I don't know if you've ever had to get up early the next day and you'll be like, yep, I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning, or whatever time might be early for you. That's 4:30 is late for me. But, you know, say for example, let's even go earlier. Say you've got to get up at 3 for some reason, and you normally get up at 6. That's a big difference. But if you're like, right, I'm getting up at 3, I've set my alarm, this is what's happening. A lot of times you'll wake up like roughly around the same time. You might even wake up just a few minutes early and your mind wakes you up. It's because we've commanded our mind to do that before. Let's use that 95% that's in our mind to our advantage. And so then when you can start creating these to create a new mindset and to reinforce that new mindset and to start building the habits of success, then your reality will shift quickly. And so when you can have your values, your purpose, your mission, it's kind of like your purpose is connected to your mission, connected to your values, connected to all of your targets. It's all in one line. And then you just have these daily targets that you do every single day. And then that's gonna lead you to be where you wanna be in life. A lot of people, they don't do that. They're just kind of floating around, not going anywhere. They don't get anywhere because they don't know where they're heading. They might have a rough direction. But if you can have your purpose, your mission, your values all aligned all the way down to daily tasks, then it's just easy. You just focus on those daily tasks knowing that they're gonna get you to this point. Now, every day I spend 2 hours a day minimum working on myself. I train mentally, not physically. I train every single day physically, but I'm talking about mentally here now. 365 days a year. That means I'm changing 365 times in a year. Now, most people might only do one bit of personal development work once a week. That's gonna take them, that means 52 times in a year. It's gonna take them 7 years to do what I do in 12 months. This is how we collapse time frames. So do something every single day. The action breeds results, right? We know that. So the great Dale Carnegie said, inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. And it's one of the key points. The best way to outwork the fear and the doubt and the worry and the stress and all of that is to just get out and do it. You've got to outwork doubt. You've got to outwork the fear. Sometimes you can just push through it and it just dissolves and it's like, well, that wasn't even that bad. It happens so often. So your mind is either you're gonna be your greatest weapon or your biggest enemy. You literally get to choose which one it's gonna be. So you can rewire it for success and take control of it, so you can take control of your life and your destiny, and you can become successful and you can become unstoppable and you can step up to be a 10x better version of yourself. So let's dive in, let's get into work through and question your beliefs, find out what's going on, take aligned action that's aligned with your mission, your purpose, and your values and what you're here for. And if you need help with that, book a call down below and we'll see what we can do. If there's anything else I can do, drop in the comments. I'd love to hear from you what your biggest takeaway was. If there's anything I can do, I got your back for life. Let me know. I'm here to help, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. You made it to the end of the video and you are one of the top 1%ers who get to this point. Now, if you're sick and tired of not growing to the level that you want, if you're sick and tired of being the same spot that you were 12 months ago, if you're like, you know what, I've got so much more to offer, but I don't really know how to get there, then if that is you, down below, book in your call with one of my team. Just enter your phone, enter your email, and enter your number. And hey, look, we can't reach you if you enter details that are wrong. So enter your right details, we'll be able to reach out to you. We'll show you the 4 stages that we take men through that's going to completely rip you out of your current situation and push you in a new direction that where you want to go. I will push you as hard as I can to get that outcome for you, because I know how much the life is good on the other side of it when we get out of the shit, when we get onto where we want to go. So click the button and I'll see you on the other side.